Another fine day here in the QC, and I'm so glad to see it. Once I'm out with the wife. She's shopping and I'm talking. But I did have a thought I wanted to share today, and it is fear and pride. Don't let this be your downfall. And I'm getting this thought from a teaching I saw from Pastor Mo, or Moray Mo, from Hebrew Kingdom Building, and it was so impressive in my spirit that I had to come and speak on it. But what he was saying is that in the last days, the spirit of fear and pride was going to be the downfall of most Hebrews and most people altogether. But I've been thinking more Hebrew lately than anybody else right now, because we're the ones in most need, and the text say salvation is through the Hebrew first. But this so shook my spirit because he got deep with it. He said that spirit of pride is one of the hardest things to self-examine, which we do have to self-examine ourselves all the time. But when he said that, I was like, that is true. That is true. Because it's hard for us to say we're in pride, because we're in pride. But I brought this subject up today because me and my wife, we just rode past one of the neighborhood COVID centers. Like our Pastor Kenny said, all these hospitals and these neighborhood health centers have basically turned into COVID centers. And we passed by them, and all we see lined up around the block was black folks going to get tested. And like I told my wife, we're not going to get no tested. Tested for what? We're fine. These folks out here are so hard-headed, and that's the pride part. They want to continue to listen to Pastor and them who's lying to them with this broke down European Christianity that hadn't been working for us folks for the longest, well, for 400 years we know. They took our book and lied to us and told us it meant another thing besides what it meant, basically, in a nutshell. And now we're lined up around the block. Like I told my wife, Master said, we sick. No, I ain't say it like that. I said, the Master told the servant, I'm sick. So the servant said, we sick, Master. Yep, and the Master said, yeah, we need to go take a vaccine. We need to go get tested, and then we need to go take a vaccine. And the servant said, we sure do, Master. But I'm not trying to be funny with this, even though it's somewhat comical. But I ride past this block almost every day, if not every other day, if not every few days. And every time I come up through here on Freedom Drive, and what's this? Freedom and Ashland, right across from the drugstore. But the parking lot is always full, and it's nothing but us folks in the parking lot. So-called black folks, us Hebrews, running to Massa and them, having them stick something way up in our nose, in the nostril canal, where there's a small bone. I heard somebody explain this, that there's a small bone that they're rubbing against with the Q-tip, and instead of pulling off tissue to test, they're putting on the virus. Pardon me for spitting. And that's how they make you sick with the test. But why would you need somebody to go and give you a test when every year this time you've been catching that same cold, you've been getting the same flu around this time every year since you was a child, but you need to go and get tested for COVID because they're telling you the same symptoms are from what you've been getting your whole life. How prideful. And that's the only way to think about it. You're too prideful. You want to listen to a Hebrew brothers or sisters trying to tell you that your oppressors are trying to kill you, and have been, especially since we've been waking up, because they know once we raise up, they fall off. Like the text said, Esau is the end of this order, and Jacob is the beginning. But I ain't gonna beat this dead horse no more. I'm gonna let it be what it is. Cause I definitely feel like I got my point across. But the only way, and my thought of encouragement today is, the only way to examine yourself in these two areas, of course we can tell when we're in fear, because we see ourselves doing things that's outside of the word of the Most High, or outside of Torah. And he says by his stripes you are healed. Then you know you are healed. You don't need to go running to somebody else for your help. And see, this goes back to what me and my wife also was just talking about. And that's being obedient to the Most High's word as far as taking care of our bodies. See, we have to take care of our health. And then we won't have no question as to if we're sick or not, because we're doing our part. See, this is a give and take with the Most High. You do your part, he's always going to do his part. When we're obedient to him, he's going to fulfill every promise he said in that book to us. Like I said, my word of encouragement is to seek the Most High's face through his Ruach HaKodesh, his Holy Spirit, and ask him to help you judge yourself in these areas. And like the minister was saying, the only way to rid yourself of pride is through humility. That pride has to be put on blast, as I like to say. It has to be brought to your attention in a way that it's no mistaking that it's in your spirit, or it's no mistaking that you have been deceived by that spirit of pride and that spirit of fear. But I guess the question is now, what you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to stay in pride and not listen to folks telling you the truth? And see, what I always said with myself in this awakening is, I love truth. And I'm going to examine the thing and see if it's true for me. No, to see if it's true, period. And if it's the truth, then it's true for me. Because like some people say, and I used to say, that's not my truth. You don't have no choice if it's the truth. If it's the truth, it's your truth. You just too prideful and stubborn to acknowledge it being true, and to acknowledge, I guess, more than anything else, is that person you've been listening to and following has been lying, is a liar. And like I always say, or like to say, tell the truth, shame the devil. But we're entertaining this spirit of pride, therefore we're being overtaken by the spirit of fear. Ain't that a full mouthful? But it's true. We have been entertaining this spirit of pride because of our own selfishness. Therefore, we're being overtaken by the spirit of fear. And what do the Most High say in this text? He has not given us a spirit of fear, but a love, power, and a sound mind. But we can't walk in that love and power and have a sound mind if we're not obedient to the Torah. If we're not following his laws, statutes, and commands, then we're basically giving our health over to our enemy. We're basically giving our souls really over to the enemy. And see, Hasatan, he's not playing these days. He's real slick. He's real slick. See, he knows he has to work on our emotions to get us. And see, that number one emotion that he works on is our pride and fear. Because if he can get you scared, he can move you wherever direction he wants you, wherever he wants you. And if he can get you to entertain pride, he can also steer you in whatever direction he wants you to go. Because you're going to refuse the truth. And like the text says, the God of this world, I think Yahushua said this himself, or Jesus, said that the God of this world has blinded the hearts or the eyes of the unbelievers because they won't believe the truth. Or so they won't believe the truth. I believe it was because they refuse the truth, in other words. But the text is going across the screen. And like I said, I done beat this dead horse to death, but this was so strong on me once we rolled out, because after we passed that COVID center, as you might as well call it, lined up around the block. I said, baby, how many white folks in that line can you see? And I saw there was one white guy in the line out of like 20 or 30 cars that we passed by. But be wise, Israel. Be wise. Don't let them take you out because of your pride and you getting into fear. And see, just like I said in the prior recording, I think the Most High, for me being raised in the church and having ancestors that was preachers, my grandfather and my mother, because this has laid the foundation for what he's doing in me now. For the word, basically. He's planted that word in me. So now it just flows like water. When the Ruach say something, it's just like water. I already know the script because it's been planted in me. And this is such a perilous times, as the scripts say. And we need to be very wise and don't be deceived.